Good afternoon, everyone. If I seem a little nervous, I am. I was saying to Michelle in the elevator that I'm a little nervous about this presentation because typically I'm the gentleman behind the scenes organizing and managing the innovations as opposed to presenting in front of such a distinguished audience. My presentation this afternoon is innovations in IP and cable platforms. And the common theme today is that, quite frankly, it's converged. That's reoccurring. It is a converged network at this point. And thus, as already expounded by other presenters, we know what's driving the demand for bandwidth in such a converged network. It's the way we access our media over the top. Netflix, YouTube. So my presentation will be centered around what are we doing as an industry to enable to meet the demands for those huge increase in bandwidth year to year. First, I'll just speak a little bit about Columbus, but there's a tie-in as to what we're doing in terms of enabling innovation based on the bandwidth demands. As you could tell, and this is my opinion, that the foundation of enhancement in terms of the innovation enabling the necessary bandwidth for this converged network is a robust transport network. What you're looking at here is Columbus's undersea fiber network that touches the entire region. This comprises of about 17,800 kilometers of subsea fiber touching 42 countries, linking North and South America, provided internet, voice, video service to over 650,000 customers within the region. It's a world-class, robust network with multi-terabit, not megabits, not gigabits, terabit capacity with built-in resiliency. It is connected to similar networks across the globe via internet exchange points, whereby we can now move data at tremendous speeds and at tremendous bandwidths globally. No other provider in the region, quite frankly, has such an extensive network. In order to really leverage and manage this network, the company I represent really has 3 units. One, we're called the pillars, the 3 pillars. First is Columbus Network, which is our wholesale data provider, which manages all the subsea infrastructure. The second is Columbus Business Solutions, which provides solutions for enterprise and SME customers. And the third, under that banner, is Flow, which provides services to all our residential entities. So what are the drivers of bandwidth? Demand for cloud services, more bandwidth-intensive application online, mobility, broadband, in terms of backhaul, providing increasing broadband penetration and government-sponsored initiatives. I think we can all agree that broadband is critical to growth and development. So let us examine some of the factors impacting the demand for this technology. And as already expounded, over-the-top content. It fuels the innovation in terms of our IP network metamorphosis, the way the customer is accessing their content and service. Companies like Amazon in e-commerce and in terms of our entertainment. That was already said by Mr. Ellis. This slide, what is driving innovation continues. And this slide really speaks in terms of a graphical sense to how we have changed over the last few years, where as an aggregate in terms of our internet usage, 61% of it, and this is from Sandvine, is associated with real-time entertainment. That's a telling fact. And I think this is enabled also, as expounded earlier, by the explosion of mobile devices that's connected to, and this is on a fixed access network, but it speaks for the same scenario in terms of mobile. There's a dramatic shift in consumer behavior towards real-time application. There's a doubling in share of total bytes for streaming, peercasting, play shifting, as well as flash video. And a couple of telling facts. 1% of subscribers account for 25% of our traffic. And also, there's the cloud. Taking a snapshot across North America that has approximately 90 million fixed access connections. And this is a monthly average bandwidth usage per each one of those fixed access year to year from 2012 through 2013. As you can see from an aggregate perspective, from 2012 to 2013, the aggregate usage bandwidth-wise has grown 38% or 12.4 gigabytes. We expect this trend to continue, and thus we have to innovate in order to meet that demand. What is the Columbus response? Consumer behavior and bandwidth demands, as evidenced from the previous slides, means providers like Columbus have to adapt. Innovations in IP streaming and management allow this adaptation. Home-based platforms can be accessed, viewed, and controlled from anywhere. So this also expounds to the fact that mobility, TV everywhere, is one of the innovations that has to happen via a fixed access network. And just one example of being able to is Flow2Go, ESPN Play, where from any mobile device, we're able to access that particular program. Broadband, now and tomorrow. Today, in Jamaica, the network here is, Flow's network is able to provide 100 megabits per second. In 2015, the forecast is that we will be able to move that speed up to 300 megabits per second, and going into the future, upwards of 800 megabits per second. The evolved network. And what I'll speak about here is really central to the evolution and innovation that is occurring in our networks, both on the access, transport, and on the distribution. Today, here in Jamaica, we have high-capacity HFC, which translated, it's a hybrid fiber coaxial network. It is capable, as mentioned earlier, of providing digital video, voice over internet, as well as your 100 megabits per second internet service. Where we go with this is that on the IP TV, which is Internet Protocol Television, services are delivered using an IP suite on the network infrastructure. That enables us to evolve to the next level, as you'll see later on in another slide. Also, we see the deployment of what we call GPON networks, which is high-capacity networks capable of delivering gigabit-type speeds, but this is really an optical passive network, which is fiber-centric. And then there is fiber to the home, which replaces your traditional last-mile coax connection to the home. On the transport side, what we have on the transport side today, complementing the access side, is an RF radio frequency bidirectional two-way, meaning a two-way plant that allows information or data, video to move in one direction, as well as information from the home to move back upstream. On your long haul, which is your transport over very long distances, we have speeds capable today of up to 40 gigabits per second on the backbone. And as mentioned earlier, for us to meet the demand, we have to enable the networks to grow with that demand. On the distribution side in the home, and on the distribution side in the home, there is what we call a Media over Cable Alliance, MoCA standard. And what that does is creates an intelligent home network that allows smart devices to be connected onto a internet platform within that home. This is an example of one of those MoCA-enabled set-top boxes that will be installed inside a home and enable those type of smart connections to be made. This outlines, this picture here actually shows graphically what that home would look like. That yellow line, that circle, really represents the actual network with all the devices, the set-tops, smart TVs, connected through a gateway, obviously, and is also Wi-Fi enabled. Cloud and IP-based delivery. As we can see here, that is IP security surveillance, and I'll speak a little bit about network PVR. This is where you'll be able to record your content on the cloud and retrieve it from just any connected device. There's also enables business continuity and hosted PBX. Innovations in IP connectivity will enable growth in business services, government services, entertainment, and education. Where are we in stages of broadband development? Obviously, we're on the social side, we're there. Entertainment and in e-learning, we're there. There's quite a lot of development that still needs to happen on the e-commerce, on the e-government side, but that will be primarily fueled by software development integrated into the broadband platform. And as our chairman of Columbus Inc., and we embrace this, we don't predict the future, we enable it. Thank you very much.